Why did the Victorians legislate against male homosexuality but not against lesbian? Oh, thank you, and we can... Moving on. Why... Oh, dear. Why didn't they legislate against lesbianism in the same thing? Yes.
Because I, Queen Victoria, simply didn't believe that women got up to such scurrilous activities.
Yes. You're really going right for them, aren't you?
Get that one. Happy Christmas to me.
You know, the fact is there's no truth in that odd rumour that Queen Victoria had them cut out any reference to lesbianism because she thought it didn't exist. Even if she'd questioned the law, she would have sparked virtually a revolution. That she had no power whatsoever to have any influence on any legislation. It would have been completely unthinkable. Do you know the name of the law? It was in 1885. It was called the Labouchere Amendment. The first famous case of anybody being sentenced under the Labouchere Amendment was Oscar Wilde, who got 2 years hard labour. And in fact, the judge said that you've been the centre of a circle of corruption of young men is impossible to doubt. This is the worst case I have ever tried. It is my duty to sentence you to 2 years at hard labour. The maximum the law allows, in my opinion, nothing like enough. And a week earlier, he said this is the worst case I'd ever tried. A week earlier, he'd tried a case of child murder. Right, that's the kind of attitude they had then.
Would you say he was a closet?
He may have been. But it was an extraordinary thing, though. Of course, the Wilde case obviously precipitated an immense change in British cultural life in many ways. Soldiers, like your good self, used to walk arm in arm in Hyde Park. They had done for 100 years. Men would walk arm in arm or arms linked, as they do in the continent still. And as soon as the Wilde case came up, everyone, just men stood exactly, never touching each other, and it was a whole different way of behaving like that.
That's because that bloke used to nick my medals. If I used to have hundreds of medals, somebody got one.
So it was all...
Got that one?
Yeah.
And that was from Equality Street, tin.
Legislation against lesbianism seems never to have been considered. Certainly Victoria would have had no power to block it, had it. How many King Henrys of England have there been?
Say it.
8!
No, 9, in fact. Henry II had a son who was known as young King Henry, who, according to the French tradition, was anointed king while Henry II, his father, was still alive. And so he wasn't given a regnal number of 3, but he was king, and he died at age 27 or so. And he was quite an amusing fellow. He was very popular. He died young, but when he was 17, he got in trouble with his father for refusing to turn up home at the castle for Christmas. Instead, he held a feast in Normandy in which he invited only knights whose names were William. It's a randomly peculiar thing to do. Anyway.
So he was actually Henry's the second and a half?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I love the idea of that party, though. The idea he's been to so many royal events and fancy weddings and gone, I can't remember everyone's name, I feel so impolite. I just want Williams, and then he just arrived and went, hello, William. You all right, William? William.
Yeah. Exactly, saves you having to bother the name, like the Beefsteak Club in London, where all the staff are called Charles, whatever their names are. So you hear people going, oh, hello, Charles, I thought Charles would be in the bar today. No, my lord, Charles was ill, so Charles has taken his place.
Is this a real place?
This is a real place called the Beefsteak Club.
You're a member of that, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
It's a very old and distinguished club and very good fun. That's all right. Don't mock me.
Yeah, we just go to a cafe, but...
Makes you more real.
Charles. Oh, Charles, yes, Charles. Yes, a tea, please. 2 teas. Yeah.
The staff from there are probably watching this going, oh, it's that Stephen Fry, he thinks everyone's called Charles. Bloody idiot. Someone's just told you that the first day you arrived. It's a big practical joke on you.
Did they also ask you to go for a long wait?
Now, name the Queen's official residence.
I'll go Balmoral.
Ah! No.
I'm going 2A, Pall Mall.
2A Pall Mall, SW1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say official residence, Buckingham Palace. I meant Windsor Castle.
No! Windsor Castle! And
A submarine is sinking somewhere.
Yeah. Blenheim. Jeremy Claxon.
Sandringham.
Sorry?
Sandringham.
Oh, Eleni, Welleny, woo, not Sandringham.
Feeling left out.
Yeah.
They've got three different pictures of it.
It's got a palace
3A, yes, 3A. Centre Parks, sorry, I don't know. The Eagle's Nest.
Does she have a static caravan?
If you are the American ambassador, but you present your credentials to
It's actually the Queen.
the court of...
St James's Palace, is that...
That is the right answer. If only I could
I
award
wish I
you more
didn't have this
points than you
speech
lost.
impediment that made Buckingham
James's
sound...
Palace is the official residence of the monarch. Although she does, of course, spend most of her time in her second, third, fourth, fifth home.
Imagine that Jamie Oliver was to be crowned the next King of England. It's sort of... Not inconceivable in the strange world in which we live.
President Oliver.
What number, James, would he be? What would be his regnal number as the official
Well,
phrase?
it would be different in England from Scotland.
No, there's just one UK, so it would be the same in both. But what would it be?
I'm desperate to say James III. Yes!
No, because what happened was when Elizabeth was crowned 60 years ago, she was, of course, called Queen Elizabeth II. But in Scotland, there was a bit of an outcry because she wasn't the second Queen Elizabeth in Scotland, she was the first. They had Mary, Queen of Scots, when Elizabeth I was on the throne. So a few early E2R pillar boxes were trashed in Scotland, and there was a big fuss. And Winston Churchill, who was Prime Minister in 1953, he sort of decided that
350 years
I
later.
know, people, let's long memories on these things. So Churchill essentially laid down a convention whereby UK monarchs would be numbered uniformly according to either an English or Scottish reckoning, whichever was higher. So James I of England was James the Sixth of Scotland. So James II was James VII. So if there were another James, he would be called James VIII. That would be the procedure.
I worry when you say things like this that you're the only person who knows. If Jamie Oliver did become king and you weren't around to tell them, they might get it wrong.
Sweet.
What are you going to... You need to leave these things in a notebook.
You need to get some tablets for you to do.
Princess Anne looks a lot like my daughter in that picture, just quite disturbingly.
Gosh! She's very young there, isn't she?
I feel sorry for all the other finalists to be queen.
Here are some kings that I'm sure you're utterly aware of. But can you tell me how they got their nicknames? These are all real kings, and they're real nicknames. Constantine, you should be able to guess where he comes from.
Sorry.
Greece.
Of your crown.
Yeah, it's look, it's done that. You see, that's it.
It's a medieval torture.
Yeah, this is what they put round royal dogs to stop them nibbling their stitches.
Imagine the crown mate.
Has your head lost weight?
It has, yes.
It's lost even more hair than when we started. Sorry.
Yes, I do apologise. It's just...
You're welcome to take it off.
Bill, try and get it down the other way. Try and get it down the other way.
So I can try and go through it?
Yeah, try and go through it. I think this is... Come on, Bill.
And that's the last we ever saw of him.
That's not good. That's not a good look.
Honestly, you look fine. You look fine.
So like something out of Lord of the Rings now.
I'm going to put this as my passport photo. What do you do? I'm a fighting king. What do you want?
But you can take it off now. You can all take off your crowns.
Oh, God, thank you.
If you're more comfortable.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's...
So, this brings us to these names.
Constantine, correct name.
Constantine the Great, the first Constantine was...
Is he Greek?
Well, he was a Roman emperor, but he moved the capital from Rome to his new city, Constantinople, and he became Christian. Yeah. And this particular one is a descendant of his, who became very unpopular, and so his enemies claimed that when he was baptised, he was so nervous, he pooed in the baptismal font.
Ah, well, we've all done that.
We've all had nights out.
Yeah.
So they called him Copronym, which is the Greek for crap name.
Oh, I see.
Poo name.
Poo name?
Copronym.
Was he christened then as a child or as an adult? Did he?
I
Because it
think-
was worse, I think, as an adult.
Either way, it's embarrassing if you're an emperor and that's all they call you is poo name.
Still an emperor?
Yeah, still an emperor. Still emperor. So what were the other ones? Let's have a look. See if you can have any sort of mild guess.
I suppose.
Louis the Universal Spider. He was actually Louis the 11th of France.
Could he climb up the water spout?
No. Because he had webs of conspiracies all across Europe.
Oh. It wasn't because he got stuck in the bath.
No. He was friends of Philip the... They all had names. Friends of Philip the...
Spaniard.
Philip the Good.
Oh, right.
The good shows a lack of imagination, doesn't it?
Yeah, Philip the Good.
Good's good, though, isn't it? It's better than Dave the Satisfactory.
That's the best you could have hoped for on your report.
What did Henry VIII have?
Cashier number 4, please.
6. The 6 wives of Henry VIII.
Just because other people have made the mistake, it's no excuse for you to make it too.
He had 6 wives.
He had major commitment problems, didn't he? I imagine every time he said, "Oh, it's not you, it's me." And then I suppose they had a trial separation, which involved a brief trial and a very major separation.
Of head from shoulders, exactly right.
It must have been very difficult for the new woman in his life each time. She'd say, "Oh, I don't know, Henry. Everywhere I look, I just see her face because it's on a pole."
Absolutely no. Yes.
Can I just say something interesting about
Please
Henry
do.
VIII?
Yes.
Right, when he died and his body was moved from Greenwich up to wherever it went, Selfridges or somewhere.
Maybe Westminster Abbey. We'll check on that.
Maybe Westminster Abbey, possibly Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't know. But his guts were so rotten and it was such a hot day that his stomach exploded.
Oh, what a
Isn't that a nice
thought.
image?
Yes, he was syphilitic and he was huge and he was a mess of a man.
He sounds
by that
bloody
time.
gorgeous.
As a young man, he was. As a young man, he was considered one of the most attractive men in all of Renaissance Europe. He was much
I
admired. He
prefer
was athletic,
syphilitic
musical,
and
poetic.
bloated myself.
Yes, he did get a bit bloated. I
Because
can't
they're
understand
easy.
people who do. No, yes, it's an interesting fact. The real answer is 3 or 4. Henry's 4th marriage to Anne of Cleves was annulled on 2 grounds. It was never consummated, and she was already betrothed to Francis, Duke of Lorraine. This was correct in law at the time, and all parties agreed that no legal marriage had ever taken place. That leaves 5 wives. The Pope declared Henry's 2nd marriage to Anne Boleyn void because Henry was still married to his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. And the king himself, as head of the new Church of England, declared that his first marriage was invalid on the correct legal ground that a man could not marry his brother's wife, and Catherine Aragon had been married to his brother Arthur.
Did he or did he not have 6 weddings?
Yes, he did, but that wasn't the question I asked.
And did he say, "This is my wife"? 6 different people. 6 different mothers-in-law all said of him, "He is my bloated syphilitic son-in-law."
But by his 2nd marriage, he said he'd never been married because he'd never had a wife, because his first wife he could not be married
What
to.
about all the
Catherine of Aragon.
family saying, "Yes, you did, we were there"?
We were there at the wedding, but we were never
We heard the
legally.
speeches, they'd wake up in the morning dead, wouldn't they?
But there was no legal spousal status. That's the point we're trying to make. But of
How
course,
many toast racks did he have?
that's the way. Count the toast racks and
Now,
you'll find out.
can I ask a question about that painting?
Yes.
Is it all wrong in perspective? It looks 2D to me.
All Holbein's pictures are a bit flat.
They
'Cause
are.
He did one of Martin Luther, and it's very flat.
Yes.
It's like a pancake. Or
Though he could certainly do perspective tricks because he did a marvellous one, which you have to see from below, didn't you? We may find a picture.
Oh, yeah,
of
that's
it one
what
day.
he said after he bollocked it up. You have to see it from below.
It was very...
Holbein's really
It
made
was
a
a sort of
crap job
elongated
of it.
skulls and things, and then when you move underneath it, the foreshortening effect of actually being under the painting, it suddenly becomes exactly the right proportions.
Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
Good Lord, you are extraordinary. How do you do these things?
It took 4 years.
Yeah.
Which is the same length of time it takes to paint the Forth Bridge in Scotland.
You're struggling towards being interesting there. I may have to give you 2 points. Does anyone remember there's a wonderful line in that film, The Agony and the Ecstasy, which is about where Charlton Heston plays Michelangelo and Rex Harrison
Charlton
plays...
Heston plays Michelangelo?
Yes.
Yeah, the effete Italian homosexual.
Yeah, that's the one.
Played
He
by
was
the
never
president
effete.
of the gun club.
He was an athletic Italian homosexual.
I thought he was a wussy one.
He may well have preferred man-on-man action. That doesn't mean he was Julian Clary. He could have been butch like me.
When I say wussy one, I don't mean he was gay. I mean he was a bit of a...
No.
I thought
You've got it the other way round.
I thought Da Vinci was the hard case.
No, Michelangelo was an animal. He was physical.
Michelangelo was.
Strong,
he never washed.
Very strong.
He
That's
stank.
right. Beard and
Alan Yentob said this.
But he preferred to take it up with Gary Glitter. Now, depending on whether you believe the Pope or indeed the King, or both of them together.
Of abandoned body parts, which body part, beginning with L, did Queen Victoria leave with the Empress of France? There's Queen Victoria on the left, obviously, and there's the Empress of France.
and that would be just...
I know.
What are you going to say? Oh, dear.
We're off.
Is it her little finger?
Is it
Liver,
a lock of
larynx.
hair?
Lock of hair is the right answer. Brilliant. But she virtually invented this sort of Victorian sentimental obsession with locks of hair. When her husband died, she obviously kept lots of Albert's hair. That's an astonishing gift. But this was what Victorians were obsessed with. Knitting, braiding, plaiting, making things out of hair. Artists powdered hair down. Do you remember those things as a child when you would put glue, like Prit, the non-sticky, sticky stuff on it, and then you would sprinkle glitter? So, do you remember that?
Yeah. Copydex.
Or Copydex you could use, which smelled slightly chlorinous and with...
Semen.
One thing... Disappointed. Oh, well. So that's what artists would do. They would glue on and then they'd sprinkle the powdered hair. So hair was a big kind of deal. Lord Byron was considered the most handsome and extraordinary figure. There you can see a little locket hanging from a hair. It's beautifully made as a braid and with gold, as you can see. And that can be made to fit into a waistcoat or something.
Here you go, Lady Casterby. This watch chain is made of my pubes. And now a poem.
Lord Byron didn't necessarily give his own hair away. It's that he was so handsome and so adored that... That's a painting.
But what was wrong with his hands?
It was generally agreed by all who met and knew him. He was a hugely charming man.
According to his own diary, said he.
No, he had... I mean, letters were written to him, and women sent him locks of their own hair. So he used locks of his Newfoundland dog, which he sent back to the women, which... They didn't notice. They thought it was Byron's hair.
Lady Suffolk, I apologise for giving you mange with my latest gift.
What did Queen Victoria think of Mr. Bean?
Yes. We are not amused.
So soon. Straight in. Albert would have liked it because he was German, and the Germans are mad for Bean.
That's true.
I was on the Lufthansa flight once, and everyone was howling with laughter all around me with headphones in. I couldn't understand why, and I looked, and they were all watching Bean.
Yeah.
They'd love it.
There's a certain efficiency about it. Yeah, this does something and falls over. It's very amusing. Before, he was walking in the straight lines and he walked into the door.
And that's
genius!
This is what happens when you Prancer rules.
Sometimes I stay up very late.
Can I take this off?
Of course you can. Of course you can take it off, old thing, yes. Is it uncomfortable?
They all lock.
It's Sean Locke!
I suspect it's not that Mr. Bean.
No,
Is there
it
another Mr. Bean?
It was a man called John Bean, who was one of 3 people who tried to do something to Queen Victoria just in the 4th year of her reign, when she was a very slip of a thing.
Take her roughly behind the bike shed.
No, or indeed invent the bicycle and then invent the shed with the...
Sell her tea towels door to door.
Kiss her on the mouth.
Quite the other.
Oh,
Kiss her on the arm.
Is that a request? Is that how you phrase it?
If you're the Queen, you can get anything done, can't you, really? You there, kiss me on, all right.
As much as kissing someone is a friendly act, these were unfriendly.
Surely he didn't turn down her advances with knockers like this.
Oh, no, how could you?
Kicked her in the shins.
No, 3 times in
Tried to
1842
murder her.
they tried to assassinate her, tried to kill her. And there was one called Mr. Bean who had a gun and he filled it with wads of tobacco, which didn't really do much harm.
Was he trying to give her cancer? I'd like the idea of Mr. Bean trying to assassinate someone by clumsiness. You know? Just, making a cup of tea and the whole house collapses, the palace falls down. Everywhere he goes, it's basically a sort of tornado of disaster, isn't it?
Mayhem.
I was in a remote Australian sheep station once, and the bloke went, "Yeah, you ever watch that Mr. Bean?" I went, "Yeah," and he goes, "That bloke's a bloody idiot."
That's fabulous.
He goes, yeah, he wouldn't last 5 minutes in the bush. well, no, clearly not.
Yeah. There you are. What did they call the man who won the Battle of Hastings?
Harold.
Ah, no, they called him.
And he lost, didn't he?
Yes. What did they call the man who won?
William the Conqueror.
William the Conqueror.
No, we call him William the Conqueror. What did they call him in the day?
Normandy, I think.
William le Conqueror.
But the fact is, no, the word William didn't exist at all as a name at the time of the conquest. He was known as Guillaume Bâtard. William the Bastard, in fact, was how he was universally known by the other French. It wasn't as rude to call him that.
The bloke on the left appears to be riding a llama. I mean, that's definitely a horse on the right. I mean, he's got a parrot. He's a random pirate, has arrived in the middle. Well, I arrived on a busy day here in Hastings. Who's that doing the embroidery over yonder? Get my good side.
As you might see in the top left corner, the word William is kind of developing. It's become Wilgelm. Wilgelm.
No, it's Will 6 Elm.
Wilgelm.
Normano, I like
Normano.
that. Yeah.
Is it Normano? Or... Is that like medieval text speak? They never put the whole thing in. They just thought, we've invaded Britain. Lol.
OMG. Very good. So, they have indeed. That's basically the point. But all the Norman names, all the Saxon names disappear within 50 years of the invasion. All the Earwigs and Ethelreds and all those sort of names disappeared, and it became Hugo and Robert and Richard and William became the most popular names. William, 1 in every 7 men in England. What does the Queen do after Christmas lunch?
That's what everyone else does during the Queen's speech.
Do they?
They go for a walk. They go to church.
No, they go to church in the morning, definitely, St Mary Magdalene in Sandringham. But they've furnished us with remarkable details, I have to say, the royal family.
Does that mean that somebody from the office is going to be tuning in to see how these details were handled?
Yes.
And they're likely to be thrilled at the sensitive way in which the Queen's Christmas Day has been described.
So far, that's why I've been wriggling slightly. But just to get it out of the way, the answer is she goes into the saloon and watches herself on television. On Christmas Eve, right, they gather in the White Drawing Room at Sandringham around a 20-foot Christmas tree cut from the Sandringham estate. And I want to add here, at the risk of being booed, that I get my tree from the Sandringham estate. It's decorated by the Queen herself.
What, your tree?
My tree, no.
Does she come round to do it? I bet you send her out in the garden. No, do it out in the garden.
At 5 p.m, the whole family has a cup of Earl Grey, except the Queen, who has her own Indian blend.
Is it Twinings?
I hope so. This is turning into a massive embarrassment all round. They have sandwiches, cakes and scones. At 6 p.m, they open presents. This is Christmas Eve, remember. Why do they open presents on Christmas Eve?
Because they're all f***ing mad.
No, because they're all f***ing German. It's a German tradition. Well, there you are. The Queen gives the signal. They give each other practical presents, it turns out. The Queen is said to have been delighted...
With a gun.
Oh,
that's bloody brilliant!
with a casserole dish and a gift-wrapped washing-up apron.
I think it's one of those ones with tits on it.
After dinner, after Christmas Eve dinner, the Queen and the other female royals leave the room with the corgis. Prince Philip then serves port... Prince Philip then serves port or brandy to the male members of the royal family.
Oh, for God's sake.
Right, well, that's tradition. It's tradition. If I
They're
told you
wearing
this...
only loincloth.
Exactly. If I told you this about an Aboriginal tribe, you'd say, oh, how interesting. So it's just it's tribal behaviour, that's all. It's interesting, I think. They get stockings on Christmas morning.
Prince Philip gets stockings.
No.
Like serving the brandy.
No, this is next morning. They all have at the foot of their bed.
He wears them all night.
The family pulls crackers, but the Queen refuses to wear her paper party hat. And then at 3 p.m, they go to the saloon to watch me on Christmas Day. We love them all and we wish them well at this Christmas time. Queen is coming for tea. What should you do with your lavatory seat?
Cover it with money.
Wear it round your neck with pride.
No, I mean, there is a sort of rumour, a myth, an urban legend, a nonsense, a fallacy, that you have to get a new lavatory seat for the Queen's visit.
Yeah, super glue it.
Put pink film over the bowl.
Why? Ow!
See if she can play. Why that pleases me so much, but it really does.
There was a rumour, but it's a nonsense that she had to, or that she carried her own calfskin one around, calfskin lavatory seat.
Wow.
But apparently Prince Charles did have his own. We'd given one as a present, and he liked it, so he used to carry it around.
You say that Charlie's got his own seat and he goes round with it?
No, he was given it as a present, and he used to take it around as a sort of joke.
As a joke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So, I mean,
Yeah.
the people who deal with royalty, you know, they do said, well, of course.
I know.
And they would have bolted it on in a trice, wouldn't they?
They probably would.
No one would take the joke. Oh, we've made 9 of them. I don't know what you do, how that works in a toilet. People powering the toilet.
Oh, hell.
Jet-powered toilets.
Yes.
Oh, no.
A royal flush.
Oh, yeah. You can be sucked out of a jet toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get wedged in it.
Yeah.
You can create a vacuum.
If you create a vacuum, then the whole plane sucks in on itself.
Yeah, like Odd Job.
Yes.
Did he get...
Well, Goldfinger himself gets
Goldfinger
like
himself
that.
goes out the window, doesn't he?
He does.
But not out the loo.
Yeah.
Down the loo.
No, out of a hot... Isn't it funny how you just have to press the button and then you think, oh, I'll have to press it again because it didn't... And then, whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand well back.
Yeah.
Leave your tie dangling over.
Yes, according to Buckingham Palace, the idea that the Queen requires a new lavatory seat is a complete myth, though you might want to run a damp cloth over the old one.
Now, to give the show a bit of a fillip, there have been 2 King Philips of Macedon, 6 King Philips of Spain, 6 King Philips of France, and, of course, 1 King Philip of QI. But when will we get a King Philip of England?
We're not. Not never.
Never say never.
In the future.
No, not in the future.
We've had one.
We've had one, but he is not normally taught in the school mnemonics. King Philip of England, he reigned for 4 years, 1554 to 1558. He was actually King Philip II of Spain, but he was King of England and Ireland by virtue of his marriage to Queen Mary. So not a consort like Queen Elizabeth's Prince Philip, but actually crowned king in his own right. So both their faces were on the coins. Parliament was called under their joint authority. And he actually lived in England just under a year, July 1554 to 1555. He married her, he was 27, she was 37. It's kind of an odd thing. He only spoke Castilian Spanish, so the whole marriage must have been conducted through an interpreter.
I wonder what attracted her to him at 27,
Who
when she was
knows?
37.
It's rather sweet. When she died, he wrote, I felt a reasonable regret for her death.
Maybe it's better in Spanish.
He proposed marriage to her half-sister, of course, Elizabeth.
Classy.
Classy. The Philippines are named after him. He ruled the Spanish Empire.
He had very slim legs.
It does look like they've photoshopped his head onto the body of a child.
Which war killed the highest proportion of British soldiers?
The American War of Independence.
Good guess.
Yeah.
English Civil War.
The English Civil War is the correct answer.
Because everybody killed in the English Civil War was British.
Well, that's absolutely right.
So they must be.
Plus, it was an exceptionally bloody conflict
very
anyway.
violent.
And the population of the country was quite small.
And all anybody knows about it is the hairstyles. All anybody says, oh, it's Roundheads and Cavaliers. And you think, yeah, that's it, really. One lot looks like the Grumbleweeds, the other lot like Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen, so it all kicks off. That man's got a wooden leg and riding side saddle.
Heritage, 90% of Britons cannot name a single battle of the English Civil War. 80% do not know which English king was executed by Parliament. And 67% of schoolchildren have never heard of Oliver Cromwell.
Good.
As a royalist, you think his name should be buried?
No, he's a dreadful man.
He was a
truly, truly horrible, one of the most horrible people ever to have walked the land.
But you wouldn't know that if you didn't know about it.
He did terrible damage being a Puritan. He wrecked all our beautiful churches because he ripped away all the iconography and graven images and replaced them with the giant thermometers that you can still see to this day.
So how many British people died in the Civil War, then?
85,000 on the battlefield, another 100,000 dying of their wounds afterwards. People who really suffered were the Irish, of whom it's estimated half the population were decimated by the great Cromwell. And it's an example, a friend told me, who works at the Foreign Office, that dear Robin Cook, when the Labour Party came to power, and we're going to be all ethical, we're going to be all good, they took down some picture in the Foreign Office of a Nepalese prince because they thought it was all imperialist, which deeply offended the Nepalese government. And they put up this big portrait of Cromwell, you know, Republican, you know, sort of lefty figure. And the first meeting they had was with the Irish government. Took one look, and it was like showing Eichmann to the Israeli ambassador. In the 7 years between 1642 and 1649, in the period known as the English Civil War, a staggering 1 in 10 of the adult male population died. Who succeeded Harold as King of England in 1066?
Is there a trick to it?
No, it's just you need to name the person who succeeded Harold as king in 1066.
Well, was it the
Don't
bastard?
trust him.
The trick is to know. The trick is to know the answer.
I don't trust you at all.
Is it the bastard, then?
Who's the bastard?
Oh dear.
It was not a trick.
Did England cease to exist in some way, or was it changed in name?
There was another Saxon claimant who was nominally king for 45 seconds or something.
Well, for a few months.
Right.
Yes. Edgar Atheling. And he was 15 years old. But Saxon kings were... How did you become a king if you were Saxon?
Did you have to be sort of
You had to be from
nominated?
one of the 5 or 6 families, and then you'd be elected. Yeah.
It's like the
By what? By votes? They
Yes.
would vote for you?
Yes. Edgar the Atheling. He was 15 years old, but of course William had won the battle, and so he came after him and he tried to fight. He couldn't raise an army, he went abroad, you know, didn't really live
Well,
a
he's
very
15,
successful life.
so he wouldn't have been able to do anything, would he, really?
Edgar the Atheling was proclaimed king by the English after the death of Harold and reigned for 2 months before William was crowned.
Who was the first king of both England and Scotland?
James I.
Sir. Is it Canute or something like that?
It's a little later than Canute, but you're right. It's pre-William I. Oh, dear me. That's not how the crown looks, by the way. Maybe when the Queen goes to a British Lions rugby match.
She normally has a couple of Coke cans.
No, because actually James I was the first one to have what was called the Triple Crown of Scotland, Wales, England and Ireland, but not the first to have the double throne of Scotland and England. Who was?
Ethelbert.
That kind of Athel...
King Engelbert. King Engelbert Humperdinck.
Athelstan, King Athelstan, 937 AD.
His hand. He's got a hand like a Simpson.
Incredible we didn't know that.
King Constantine II of Scotland submitted to him in 937, as did the kings of Cornwall, Wales and Northumbria, when he became the first king of all Britain, Athelstan. I would also have allowed Edward I, which is wrong, but not as wrong as James I. What did they call the man who won the Battle of Hastings?
Harold. Ah, no, they called him. lost, isn't he?
Yes. What did they call the man who won?
William the Conqueror.
William the Conqueror.
No, we call him William the Conqueror. What did they call him in the day?
Normandy, I think.
William le Conqueror.
But the fact is, no, the word William didn't exist at all as a name at the time of the conquest. He was known as Guillaume Bâtard. William the Bastard, in fact, was how he was universally known by the other French. It wasn't as rude to call him that.
The bloke on the left appears to be riding a llama. I mean, that's definitely a horse on the right. I mean, he's got a parrot. He's a random pirate, has arrived in the middle.
Well, I arrived on a busy day here in Hastings. Who's that doing the embroidery over yonder? Get my good side.
As you might see in the top left corner, the word William is kind of developing. It's become Wilgelm. Wilgelm.
No, it's Will Six Elm.
Wilgelm.
Normano, I like
Normano.
that. Yeah.
Is it Normano? Or... Is that like medieval text speak? They never put the whole thing in. They just thought, you know, we've invaded Britain. Lol.
OMG. Very good. So, they have indeed. That's basically the point. But all the Norman names, all the Saxon names disappear within 50 years of the invasion. All the Earwigs and Ethelreds and all those sort of names disappeared, and it became Hugo and Robert and Richard and William became the most popular names. William, 1 in every 7 men in England.
Name all the members of the monstrous regiment of women.
Beryl.
Linda.
Jean.
Shirley.
Angry Sue.
She's the leader.
Have you heard of the monstrous regiment of women? The first blast of the trumpet against the monstrous...
John Knox.
Yes, John Knox. I knew you would. The first blast of the trumpet against the monstrous...
Monstrous regiment of women.
Monstrous.
OK, so I've read that, and it's bad that I couldn't remember the monstrous regiment. It seems like it's kind of the main part. It seems like, oh...
Actually, what it is it's like change in the language, and monstrous doesn't mean monstrous, as we would say. It means unnatural. And regiment doesn't mean the whole load of them marching on, these women. It means regime. Right. And he was a Protestant, and he was angry at the fact there were 2 Catholic women on the thrones of England. Who might they have been?
Mary.
Which Mary? They were both called Mary.
2 Marys.
The 2 Marys.
Exactly. This has now turned into a story from the Bunty.
There was our Mary, Bloody
the
Mary,
Marys,
Bloody Mary, Mary Tudor, the one who burned the Protestants. And in Scotland, it wasn't Mary Queen of Scots, it was her regent, who was Mary of Guise.
Cheery bunch.
Yeah, cheery.
I feel like that's the same Mary in different outfits.
You know, when they do like those style challenges on This Morning, and it's before and after.
She used to just wear monochrome, but look at her now.
So Knox, who was a very keen Protestant, didn't like these women on the throne. He was angry about it and wrote this thing. But on the subject of Mary Queen of Scots, do you remember who her husband was? Darnley, his name was, her husband. He was murdered. He was actually blown up. This is a very extraordinary story. One of the presumed architects of the explosion was a fellow called Archibald Douglas. A pair of his shoes were found at the scene of the crime. He gave an account of...
Where's your shoes, Archibald? That's old git!
But he didn't take your shoes off before dynamite.
Yeah, he got away with it. But he later gave an account of Mary's reaction. So this is Mary. Her husband has been blown up. She sent for a number of light ladies and women to come to Holyrood House and participate stark naked in a ball. Then they had cut off their pubic hair and had put it in puddings to be eaten by the male guests who were sick. Is that what you do when your husband's blown up?
Was she just trying to, you know, like, trying to get back to normal life? First, let's just carry on as we were.
Yeah, that's right.
Get your pubes and put them in that pie.
It's what he would have wanted.
Actually, I think this would be quite clever. Probably, if your partner is killed in a horrific way, all anyone's ever going to talk to you about is, oh, what happened to your husband? But now, no.
Yeah.
Why do you have that pube party? Why was it in Germany?
We don't... It's all the detail we have.
One, condolences. Number 2.
it's all the detail we have said. But the actual person who took the rap for the murder, it was hanged, drawn and quartered on the basis that he was the one who discovered the scene, which seems a bit unfair.
Oh, really?
His name was William Blackadder.
Oh.
It's true.
Can you tell me about the royal we?
It doesn't smell?
And we're off and running.
Behind there, edging his first delivery slip. Richie Benno.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Was that an Australian accent?
Oh, come on! I've been working on that since you were last here.
Really?
They don't open their teeth up.
They?
Yes.
They. I've busted my crown,
no.
you see?
I'll go over to this side. What can you tell me about the royal we?
There was something weird about George III's wee. I think maybe it was purple, and then they thought he had porphyria, and then now they think he didn't have porphyria, but they were definitely saying there's something up with this guy's wee.
Yeah.
Also, he's gone mad.
Yes. That is entirely correct, but I'm heading in a different direction. Why might a royal person say we?
First person plural.
It is the majestic plural. It's known as nosism from the Latin nose for we. It's the idea that the royal person, instead of referring to themselves as I, in fact, says we.
Implying there's more than one of them.
Yes, well, we can trace it back to Henry II, and it used to mean God and I. That's what it really comes from. We've got Henry II there and his successor, Richard I, and it's Richard I that introduced the motto, Dieu est mon droit, God and my right, and that remains the royal motto ever since.
Got your crown, Dave, got your crown.
I like to think this is like a working crown. This isn't like a Parliament opening coronation crown. This is a crown...
Daily.
Yeah, you can wear it all the time, you can
Doing
go
dishes.
into battle.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a paper and some fags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to the garage at 3 a.m. for munches.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, the Queen doesn't actually use the pronoun one as much as you would think. They analysed all her speeches since 1952, and she uses I 6 times more often than she says one. It's a parody, really, of how she speaks, because it isn't.
Unless she got bored of it.
Yeah,
Must
one's
be
not
boring
doing that
being
anymore.
queen, so just mix it up a bit.
It must be quite dull, do you not think? Constantly having to open and close things.
I don't think, to be fair, you mean opening as in launching?
Yeah.
And, I don't think she closes many things. I don't think, when BHS went under, I didn't think...